Hello, Kendall from Reddit Whiskey with a recap of my second attack from this war. This was another needle holo attack. Um, Looking at this base design, probably not the best base design. There's not a whole lot of great locations for double giant bombs. In fact, there's no great locations for double giant bombs. My guess coming in that there was going to be Tesla here, and then the remaining Teslas, maybe they were, here, or here, could have been even the middle, could have been right down here, and then the giant bombs just kind of spread apart. One of the things you learn as you watch, and I always like to watch all of my teammates' attacks, is you kind of get an idea: does the clan kind of understand good base design or not? And we'd seen pretty clearly that they didn't have a lot of double giant bomb sets. This was a clan, had a ton of war wins. I think they were at 108, but they were a go white clan, go white, go wee wee. So they were protecting against those type of attacks, which made them vulnerable to hogs. So I really wasn't expecting more than just some scattered giant bombs that I could have easily healed through. I was a little off on that, but it was close enough, and I ended up getting the 3-star because it didn't hit me to the end. So, the next point of that, or the next thing that I was looking at, and something you always look at is, can I use loons to help me in my raid? And how do you describe helping me in my raid? Well, if you watched my previous attack from this war, whenever there's a 1-for-1 trade, there's a defense that's sitting out in the middle of nowhere, and you can throw one balloon on it, and you can take it out. Always worth it. Or if you're doing maybe a cleanup, and they've got, you run into some people that throw some Teslas out in weird places to make the clan castle pull a little hard, or to make the kill squad a little difficult. Great place for using a single balloon to take out that Tesla. The other time you really want to use them is if you could take out, key defenses, and I describe key defenses as maybe defenses that are protecting double giant bomb sets, or maybe a defense that's going to be very, very close to where you want to deploy your kill squad, so it's going to be shooting at your kill squad at the same time. Now, just because it's a key defense doesn't mean you should always use balloons, because obviously the air defense is important. But when I was looking at this base, you can see most of these top defenses have very weak air defense coverage. Now, down here at the bottom, definitely much better. The balloons would have to travel in time while they were in air defense cover. But these kind of top ones are pretty weak. And, looking specifically at each defense, this archer tower, there's nothing in front of it besides the wall. So since you can do an immediate drop, you can get away with, normally a level 11 archer tower takes 2 level 6 balloons to kill it, if it has any travel time at all, because the balloon is getting shot at while it's moving forward and it'll die first. But in this case, you can drop it almost right on top of it and not take any damage. So one balloon can take out that level 11 archer tower. Now, level 11 cannons normally take 2 because they actually take 2 bomb drops instead of a bomb drop and a splash death. So I sent 2 after this cannon, also knowing that the archer queen was going to be in range to probably shoot into that. And then I followed that with 2 on this archer tower. And I probably could, after watching it, I could have gotten away with just 1 over here on this archer tower, but 2 makes it safe. So, the other key thing about taking out those 3 defenses, because in regards to being key defenses on a hog raid, they're really not that valuable. There's no place for spring traps near them. There's no place for giant bombs near them. So they're not a great use, because, it's a basically 5 troop space that I'm going to trade for a defense, but I don't have it for cleanup. I don't have it to help with other defenses. So, it's kind of a one and done type deal. But if you look at this base and you kind of divide it, right in half, and if I take out this defense, and this defense, and I knew I was going to deploy my golem on this side and my barbarian king to deal with the archer queen, so this cannon was going to be dead, I've basically taken out all of the point defense, unless of course there's a Tesla right here, for the top half of this base. And what that means is I don't have to worry about healing that top half of the base as my hogs run through there. So I don't ever need to drop a heal up here as my hogs are going to path up here, because, and once we get to the pathing component, you'll see what I'm talking about. So to me, that was very worthwhile, because it was able to really to kind of allow me to save a heal. So that was kind of what I was looking at. Now the next part of that is loons are great at times for getting the clan castle pull. And I misread the circle. I was looking at the circle here, and I thought sending 2 balloons at this archer tower would not only take that archer tower out, but would also get the clan castle pull. And that ended up not being the case. I'm still not sure. It looked like my balloons were inside the ring, but it didn't. So I ended up having to send in hogs to get the full clan castle pull. So my plan was there, get the clan castle pull. I was going to actually kill them over here. Ideally, I would have loved to be able to kill them up here because then I could have helped them. Usually I say you always want to use your kill squad to help take out the archer queen next. So this would have been the better spot in order to get them close to the archer queen. The problem was I was going to have to deal with dual mortars. And dual mortars against witches and wizards are just a nightmare. So this top point ended up being, even though these point defenses were gone, these 2 mortars were really going to ruin my ability to do my kill squad at the top. So for safety's sake, I wanted to do my kill squad over here. So pretty normal, it's a pretty standard thing, except that on my last attack, and I noticed on a lot of the other attacks my clanmates had done, they were using a lot of dual witch combinations in the clan castle. And there's nothing super dangerous about that, except that they take forever to kill, because the witches just keep spawning skellies. So I brought all the extra barbarians to help distract and actually try to kill some of the witches, and we'll show once we get to the replay. Once that was done, I was going to send my golem in here, followed by 2 wall breakers to get me in there, followed by the barbarian king on this builder's hut, so it would next bounce in here. And then I had 4 more wall breakers I was going to send to break into this corner. And obviously that's a little bit of overkill, but Wizard Tower should have been shooting at the golem over here, but I was still going to have to potentially deal with an expo along with the archer queen that was going to be shooting at these wall breakers. So better safe than sorry, and have my raid ruined and my barbarian king beaten on a wall. I went ahead and sent in 4. From there, it was the hog deployment. And, as I've said on a couple of my other videos, I really like to deploy my hogs so that they're always going to stay together. I can't keep up with healing 2 groups, so I prefer them all to stay together. That doesn't mean they always have to start together. For instance, on ring basis, it's really great to start them in 2 different points so they converge on each other and then move out as one group. But this base doesn't really apply for that, so I wanted them to kind of stay together. The other thing, though, I really like to do with my hogs when possible is to take out first the defenses that are going to have an impact on my kill squad. Because ultimately, I like my kill squad to stay alive for the entire raid because they're going to help me with cleanup. So my plan was, I figured that this cannon was going to die to my golem and barbarian king, so it was going to be dead. So I was going to do a 2-finger drop in the hogs just like that. And what that was going to cause is I was going to get hogs that kind of path this way. I'd have some go down this, but I'd have most of them that kind of came into the core. And then what you end up seeing is that the hogs would kind of path around this way. Now the downside to that was these point defenses down here were too far spread, and there wouldn't have been a good way that I could have sent them in that one heal would have fell on top of all of these, because there's enough space between this group. So what ended up happening is, once my hogs finished up here, they had to cycle back around to get these last defenses. And I was okay with that because, remember, I wasn't going to have to use heals at the top. So, next plan is, where am I going to throw heals down? First heal obviously is going to be right here. And in fact, there was a giant bomb. I was trying to hold off a little longer, but I hit a giant bomb, so I had to drop one there. I had a bunch of hogs that kind of went to the center. There were the Teslas were where I thought, so there was a lot of DPS here in the center, so I had to drop my next heal here. I was planning on saving my next heal for kind of here and then here, but I ended up hitting a giant bomb down here and ended up having to throw an extra heal, so that ended up throwing off. I probably shouldn't have showed you where I was doing that. And then the final heal was just kind of here at the bottom. So my heals got thrown a little bit off because I ran into a giant bomb. But whenever you do that and it's a big group, you've got to get a heal down because you can't afford to lose that, and especially with the splash stamina of those wizard towers. So, that was the plan. We'll go through the replay, and I'll kind of stop as I run into things. I apologize, this one ran a little long video-wise, but you'll see I start 1 for 1 here, 2 here, 2 here, and then I throw 2 down at the bottom, and that went perfect. I could have got away with just 1, but 2 in here, and you'll see I don't actually get the kill squad. So I ended up having to send, that seemed to be in range. So I have to send in some hogs. So I'm debating where to send the hogs, and I apologize, I can't click on the clan castle right now, but what you would have seen if I'd have clicked on it is the ring ran outside kind of like this. So I could have sent hogs either at this archer tower or at this cannon. And it really came health. I think a level 11 archer tower has 805 health. a cannon. Don't quote me. I think it's got over 900. So I can take out an archer tower faster than I can take out a cannon. And I knew it was going to take a minimum of 2 hogs to get the pull. Maybe it takes out even 3, but 2 for sure. But if I can send 2 hogs in and get the pull, and I can send 1 more and also take out an archer tower, well, that's like a 1-for-1 trade, because I had to use 2 for the pull. I only had to use 1 in order to get the archer tower down. So that was the reason I chose this archer tower instead of this cannon over here. You'll see that kind of goes in, starts getting the clan castle pull. Double witches again, so I know I've got the full pull. Archer tower goes down. Teslas have popped, which means I know I'm going to be dealing with giant bombs probably in here somewhere. I just got that a little wrong, though. It was a poor read on my part. Got the barbarians down. Got my witches down. Archer queen down. 2 wizards. All you ever need is 2 wizards. Don't need more than that. And then you're going to see I kind of wait for everything to start pathing over. And I've got 6 barbarians left, and I'm kind of just waiting here. Waiting for these the witches to get together and then the skellies to be away from them so I can try to send my barbarians. I probably should have done a semicircle. Might have worked better to get both of them, but I got one of them killed, which is really all I needed. So from there, clan castle troops are under control. I can send my golem in. Followed by 2 wall breakers. Everything's going well. Barbarian king goes down. It's coming in. Wait till the expo is shooting at the golem, and then I send my 4 wall breakers in. They get in. Barbarian king's going to go in and take out the enemy archer queen, and then I send I ended up adjusting there. I had planned on originally sending the hogs all in 2-finger drop, but that cannon was still alive, so I went ahead and dropped them 2 fingers right on top of the cannon. And I like to do that when I'm going to be deploying a lot of hogs. I don't want to do a 1-finger drop. It just takes so much longer for them to get out. If I do 2 fingers right next to each other, they come out twice as fast. So I hit that first giant bomb. I had to get a heal down for that. So we kind of keep pathing through. Teslas were in the cores, I thought, so once they kind of jump over to there, I get another heal down. A lot of point DPS there. And you can see I have a couple of them that jump out. And I hit my first giant bomb. I've got to throw another heal because it was a big enough group that I've got to keep that group under heal. And then, group kind of pass on. The beauty here is I don't have to waste a heal up here. As I said, I've only got 1 left. But there's nothing up here that can do a whole lot of damage. So I can actually save my last heal at the bottom. And oops, I sped this up a little too fast. I ended up hitting a double giant bomb set there and wiped out half of my hogs. But luckily I've got enough that's up. My archer queen was there. I had just enough to clean up. So I've got a couple extra wizzies. I throw them down, 1 at the top, 1 down here, 1 over the side, because I realized time is going to be an issue. And this kind of runs down to the very last second. And I want to highlight in this raid the stupidity of this wizard. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit. So, takes out that army camp there. No reason to go after that elixir storage. Let's run way over here. Oh, well, let's shoot at a wall. That seems like a whole lot of fun. So we're gonna go ahead and wait and just shoot at this wall. I have no clue what the AI was doing right there. That elixir storage was right in time. And I mean, this came down. It was like a 2-minute and 59-second raid. So real close. But I hope this helped. I covered a couple different things that I hadn't talked about before. I've been considering a series on planning attack strategies, and maybe that's a better method to do it than trying to make a 13-minute attack recap. So hope this helped. If there's any questions or comments, please leave them below, and thank you very much for watching.